everybody. Welcome back to Kindest Regards ZA. Thank you so much to everybody who's watched the previous episodes, and I thank you so much for all your feedback. It's truly appreciated. Today we're getting into another conversation that's very dear to my heart. It is actually the first part of a series that I'll be embarking on pertaining to gender-based violence, which is defined as, according to the United Nations Economic Commissions for Europe, as any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to a woman. The different parts of the series will be tackling the different contributional aspects of this pandemic. With that being said, in late 2018, I was invited by Mosa Mahlaba to partake in a creative piece that she was doing titled Endangered Species. I quickly accepted this invitation because I knew subconsciously that the woman that I was going to be representing in the pictures and the emotions, the pain and the anger I'd be depicting in the pictures were definitely a true reflection of my life. Because at that moment she invited me, I was in the midst of a physically and emotionally abusive relationship. With that being said though, today I will not be going into that part of my life as yet, because believe it or not, I'm still in the healing process and in the process of just taking back my power and stop being afraid of him. Instead, I decided to invite Mosa Mahlaba to review her article and the pictures that were taken, that you'll be seeing throughout the episode, that were directed by her, shot by Lebogang, Ditibane and Londeka, Thabethe. The first rule of survival in South Africa is don't be a black woman. Most definitely don't be a black girl. Yeah. What about the other races and the gender-based violence in other communities?
Okay, well, I'm not ignorant to gender-based violence being against all races, all communities. The reason I specifically said black woman, black girl, is because that's what my world is made up of. I'm pro-women. I'm pro-women of all shades and creeds, trans women, everybody. I'm pro-women. But I'm specifically pro-black women. I think black women need more people to advocate for them, because we don't have that generally. But because my world is made up of black women, so when I see women, I see black women. When I think girls, because of just how my world is set up, it's black girls. And I think because we make up the majority of the population, so most women in South Africa are black women. So it comes from that. So the stats say more than anything black women. But that's not to say I'm ignorant to, or that I don't care about other women of other races. I'm pro all women. So yeah, but the specific thing of saying black woman, black girl is because my world is made up of black women.
Okay. I read it, a part of me was like, I think it represents all women. Like it's not racially segregated. It includes all women. I think the rage and the pain and the anger in it represents women who have been raped and killed and under their lovers or a man. Yeah. What do you think is the core issue, the root of this rape culture, this abusive culture towards children, women, and gays in all communities? What is the core of this culture?
Sure. I wish I knew. If we knew what the cause was, then we could possibly
get the solution,
fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening in the psyche of the men. So this one is really it's tough to it's a tough question to answer. And I think the scary thing is the conversations around this topic are had mainly by women.
Aish.
So the conversations are by women for women, yet the women are not the oppressors.
Yeah.
So we all come together. We want to fix. We're desperate for an answer, but it's just us in the conversations. We don't have the answer because we're not the aggressors. Yeah, so as women, we find ourselves in a loop because we want the answers. We want to stop this. We're desperate, actually, to stop it. But not enough men are joining the conversation in meaningful ways. So it becomes difficult for us to know what the roots is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also say in the article that not all men. What's your take on this thing of the gents saying, but I'm not an abuser. Mara mina, I'm rapey, mina. But then they have friends who are the aggressor. What's your take on that?
Okay, yes, men, not all of you. We get it. We've been getting that part. That part is understood. We get it. But all women are being raped. All women are afraid. So not all men, yes, and then what? So not all men. Then what? Because it's not good enough for men to say not. It's like white people in racist times saying not all white people are racist.
Yeah.
That doesn't help anybody. So
But all black people were affected.
but all black people were affected. All black people were living under apartheid. All black people were being crucified for being black. So we find ourselves having all women are afraid. All of us.
Yeah.
Every
literally.
single one of us. And double that, the moms are doubly afraid because now they're afraid for themselves and for their kids. So all women are afraid, but not all men are rapists.
Yeah.
But all men are afraid of other men. Tricky. See? Yes, it's true. Not all men. Check. We got that part. But then what? What more can the men who say not all men? What more are you saying? Because that part, we get it. We understand it.
It can't stop there.
Yes, the conversation cannot stop
Stop
at
that.
not all men.
Not all men.
Okay, you, the man who's not a rapist.
What are you
doing
Yeah.
to curb the situation? Because when you are out, you're not worried that somebody's going to spike your drink to rape you. When you are in an ambulance, you're not afraid that the EMT is going to rape you. We are. So not all men, but then what? Not all men is very incomplete. We need...
Conversation must continue.
Yeah.
When you were writing that article, for someone, let's say, who's never heard of it or read it or seen the pictures, when you were writing every single word and taking those pictures, what were you saying? What was Mosa saying in that moment?
I was upset because, for obvious reasons, I was upset because we live in fear constantly. Nobody cares except us. So I wanted, and again, I knew that this is a conversation that women have all the time. I wanted to scare the men a little bit. No, I wanted to scare the men a lot. I wanted the men to be scared as we are scared. So the red in the pictures depicts blood. We have a picture where, we show one of the guys laying out and dead. We show them being tied up. That was to create, a picture of pain and blood. So I wanted to scare the men. I wanted the men to put themselves in our shoes. Women can do that too, right? If we hunted you down, if you lived in constant fear, if you couldn't go anywhere and feel secure and safe, then what would that be like for you as a man? Because maybe that's the only way men will come to the party and men will come and say, yo, that is such a scary thing. Because that's our reality as women. Literally. Women are being killed by their husbands. That's somebody at home, by their fathers, by their brothers. Not just men in the streets, not these monsters in the dark. No, by men we know, by men we love, by men we've raised, birthed, by our friends, by our brothers, by people that we know. That is scary. That is a core fear. And I wanted to instill that fear in men for a moment, just so that they can think a little bit differently, think beyond not all men, think beyond it will never happen to me. The comfort for men is that it will never happen to
Yeah.
me. Men say, oh, but I'm not gay, so it won't happen to me. Men say, I'm strong physically, I can fight him off. Men say, not all men, some men don't even think about it. It doesn't come up in their minds at all. Because they're not living in fear like we are. So the point of this was to instill fear. And I hope that I was able to do that so that men can broaden their take on how devastating of a crisis this is in our country.
Sure.
Can I just say, our country is a world leader in femicide.
Yeah. And we're like above the average of the world's femicide. Like, number one. Like, I don't know, guys. And I don't know when we'll take it seriously. And that's what I'm saying. I always ask, what's the root? Because maybe the root and the cause, once that's tackled, maybe there'll be less of it. You know, so it's scary times. But it's exhausting to have to, when I wake up, I have to think how I'm going to dress. Yeah. Where am I going? Yes. Is it appropriate for me to dress that way? Yes. In a relationship, I mean, I can't say certain things so that I don't trigger this man and upset him too much. Yes. Wherever I'm going and the transportation that I'm using, have I shared my live location?
We had that conversation.
Have I shared the...
For me to come here today, I can't use a certain form of transportation because I'm too scared, because their reputation is like this. Come fetch me, you're a woman, I know you can come to fetch me, then I'll be safe. That's how women are living.
Really? Sure. Even like day before yesterday, I was meeting up with a friend and I had a meeting after that. You know, my mom, she's like, you've changed so much. The older you get, you keep reporting everything to me. Who you going with? You never used to care. You'd be like, I'm coming home, I'm not coming home. Hey babes, we are living in crazy times. You need to know who I'm with, where I'm going. As uncomfortable maybe to let her know, but I feel like she needs to know for safety's sake. So
you need to have somebody who can say your last scene was, oh no, Mosa was on her way to. Yes. Mosa was on her way back from. Yeah. Mosa was supposed to be back. Mosa was going out with a person so and so. We are constantly leaving the breadcrumbs because we are in constant fear.
Yeah. It's a pandemic. Yeah. You know, and scary thing is a consistent, constant pandemic.
Now we have the coronavirus as a pandemic that we're facing. But women and children are still being abducted, are still being killed. So even in the middle of that, so even that, when everybody's dying, but women are dying more. So women are looking at many things. Yeah. It's really exhausting.
Yeah. I want to know, what else have you written? Where can people find your work? Just because clearly you're umapalana.
Currently I'm not writing anything. This project actually was my last project, only because I used to pride myself in being a social commentator, but being black and then on top of that being a woman and then trying to be a social commentator is tough. There aren't enough good things to write about. Only the bad things. So that's taxing.
I just got goosebumps.
I'm sorry. Sure. It's taxing. But I do have a children's book out. Hey.
I got friends, guys. In places. Yeah.
The name of the book is Searching for the Spirit of Spring. If you have kids at home, and I'm sure you do, then that's a great read for them.
Where can people buy the book? Are there specific places or available at every bookstore?
The book is mainly online. I did the book through an NGO, Book Dash, which is a awesome reading initiative basically. So it's online. You can just Google it. It will come up. It's available in all the official languages. And we even have it in for deaf children, so it is translated.
That's beautiful.
For that as well. So it's a Book Dash book. If You just type it in. It's easy
It
to
will-
find.
Okay.
And it's easily accessible. It's under an open license, so you can publish it, print it for yourself at home. You can distribute it to your kids and kids and class.
That's beautiful.
Everybody who wants the book. It's easily accessible.
Thank you so much for blessing my show with your is it article review? Yeah. The article review. I really appreciate it. And I would love to see more work from you. I know you said you stopped writing, but I'm just putting it out to the universe. But I hope she writes more. Yeah, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me first and foremost. But also thank you for being a part of the shoot.
Yeah.
So thank you for your modeling skills, sharing that with us to put across such an important message. So thank you also.
It was an honor. What an insightful and impactful conversation with powerhouse, I believe, Mosa Mahlaba, because not only does she speak for herself, but she speaks for the women who have been silenced. We truly have a problem, and my wish is for us individually to get to the core and the root of this problem so that we could heal as a nation. And I'd like to extend an invite to any survivors of domestic violence, sexual harassment, any gender-based violence that any woman has experienced and would like to come on the show and share their story, or how it's impacted their life after, you know. So it's an open invitation. My email address is in the description box. Let's make it happen. I'd be honored to have you on my show. As I said earlier, that this will be a series that I'll be embarking on. With that being said, love and light and healing, and God bless to every single person. See you on the next Kindest Regards ZA show.